Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Tired Parents Podcast. I'm Myles Weber.
I'm Heather Weber.
As always, we are tired. We are here. And if you are here and you are tired too, make sure you hit all the buttons, like, share, subscribe. Do all the things to interact with the podcast so we may keep doing it and bringing you exciting guests, not unlike the one that we have today. Today we do have a guest. I worked with him on a Carnival cruise ship. Oh, God, it was probably like 6 years ago, maybe. I mean, it was...
the kids are what, 4 years old? About 4 years.
Yeah. So it was right on the other side of the pandemic. Yes, he's a comedian, an actor, a father of 4-year-old twins, and a 46-year-old daughter. He's former law enforcement and also a former U.S. Marine. So we always thank our service people for their service. Give it up for the wonderfully talented and delightful Eddie Clark, everybody. Hey, Eddie, what's happening, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, it's just been, the life, it's so weird. I got to tell you before I even get started, it was just so strange to me that I was sitting there thinking, and I've been watching you and Heather ever since the kids were born. Of course, you need to talk right now because Daddy's on the thing. But this is what I'm talking about. Right? Of course, you need to talk. She's been quiet the entire time.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you need to talk. Hold up, be quiet. So anyway, the deal is that all this time, I've been watching you guys and thinking, yo, man, they're going to learn something. They're going to learn something that they don't know. I got a 46-year-old daughter. I've been there before. And then I realized there's a whole different vibe with kids now as what it was like for me 46 years ago.
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. These kids are different, right? You can't do anything. Do you realize that the old song they used to sing the kids, Rockabye Baby on the Treetop?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually child abuse now.
Yeah.
You can't sing that song. It's child abuse. If you listen, if you know the whole thing, it's child abuse.
Yeah.
Right? I can't put her on the branch and the brow breaks and she falls. No, I go to jail.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's time for the baby to go to sleep. Why don't you lay him down and sing that song about him falling out of the tree? Like, that's a really good one. They just fall down and we're just left to our own imagination of how to end that movie.
Yeah.
It's probably fine. They're asleep, aren't they?
I mean, anytime I would sing that to Robin, granted, it was like he liked it when he was older.
Yeah.
And I'd like just cut it off. And he's like, well, what happens next? I'm like, what would you like to happen next?
It's a choose your own adventure song in our household.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We do You Are My Sunshine. Nobody dies in You Are My Sunshine. So there is a little bit of a stretch of the truth now with being my only sunshine. And I'm like, there's a kid in the next room who might take umbrage with that only sunshine line. So there's definitely a couple of sunshines being spread evenly. But yeah, man.
The only music my kids hear is classical. I'm dead serious.
Oh, yeah?
Especially at night, it's classical music. That's what they were in. When they were in the ICU, that's what they played. And I figured, you know what? No one went to jail. No one was accused of anything. We'll keep the Chopin going. We'll keep it going there. And I'm dead serious. Even to this day, they go to sleep. They go to sleep to classical music.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Every single night. It's like, and they're used to it. And they actually go to sleep.
I've
I'll
heard
give them
it's
maybe.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
it's better
it's
for their
great.
brain, like developmentally, like for that. We didn't do it with either of
No.
ours, and
No, Robin loves Macklemore.
he loves Macklemore. Yeah.
Macklemore.
What is funny is because that's like kind of the first, I guess you'd say, rapper he's like heard a lot of music from. And so now anytime he hears somebody rapping, he's like, is that Macklemore? And I'm like, I love that that's like your first white rapper that you know. Where like, we were raised with Eminem.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just any hip hop in general. He's like, oh, it's got to be Macklemore. I'm like, it's definitely not Tupac, kiddo. Don't worry about it. Like,
That's funny, Macklemore.
I mean,
I like Macklemore, so I'm not gonna argue
for the
point.
people listening who don't know, like, yeah, there is a very large gap between the first time you did the bout of parenting, as we said in the intro, and the second time, because we our son Robin's 4.5, your twins are now 4. So, I mean, what's the journey like, if you could explain to the people listening, as far as like now being a father the second time around? Is that a surprise? Was it planned? And then inversely, we'd love to know what you see now as like a lot of the differences between 4 decades of parenting and how it's changed.
Well, I don't know exactly how much time we got, but I'll give you an example. Right now, with her doing what she's doing right now, you can't just give her a pop on the butt and say sit down. You know, you know it. Things. I mean, so much has changed since Stephanie was born. You know, one of the biggest things for me was start at the beginning with the childbirth. Now, when 46 years ago, men weren't allowed to go with women to into the delivery room.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go to exams with ladies. We just didn't do it. You know, and I'm not joking when I say this. 46 years ago, you would sit in a room with a bunch of guys, and I'm not joking. They were smoking, guys smoking cigars, cigarettes, you know, in the waiting room for fathers. And you know, I was kind of stupid because I thought, you know, it was normal to bring the kid in and just like, you know, you go in there, they have the baby come out. You never see the mother or anything like that. The nurse says you have a boy or girl. They come out, you look through the glass, they let you hold the kid. After a while, you know, they let you go and hold the kid. But it was usually basically on the other side of the glass. You got to look. You sat with the mother, examined, blah blah blah. That was it. Nowadays, man, you know, you walk in and it's like I'm allowed in there. I've seen my wife have the exam. When they use that, forgive me if I use the wrong word. That speculator
Mm-hmm.
where they kind of open it up and you can see stuff.
Yeah,
There's no
the
speculation.
salad tongs in there.
It scared the heck out of me, man. I said, "Yo, how's that?" You know. But they see. Oh, you laugh. So you laugh. This is weird. And exams and everything. And I sat through the whole thing. And I'm not joking. I nearly passed out. I just said I had to leave. I said, I support you, but I had to leave. I found out something else. As a man, you're supposed to stay there. You can't leave. But what? I'm older. They gave me a break. I left. Kid's born. You're sitting in the room. They put the thing on. She's laying down. There's a sheet that divides where you just see her head and her upper
Mm-hmm.
body, and the baby's down there. And me, like an idiot, I'm looking over the edge because the thing was set for shorter people. I'm 6'1", so I just basically had to like kind of look up, and I saw everything. She got a C-section. I'm watching this. We get the kids. Like, this is great, man. And after a while, I just kind of left her, which you're not supposed to do. I didn't know that either. So, but you have to understand, I'm not a modern father. So I take off, I go to the other side, and I'm talking to the kids, and I'm telling them what the rules are coming out. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to clean the kids off. They go, you know, and then they said you can use cell phone. You can take pictures, but you can't do cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I did just the opposite. I turned the video on. I'm doing all this stuff. The one lady caught me. She freaked out. Then I asked the lady, and this is something else that freaked me out. They LoJack the kids as soon as they're born. They put these things on their ankles,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't realize at first. You can't take the kid out of the area until I guess the computer clears it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you walk past the door with that kid, alarms go off.
Yep.
But I didn't notice. I just noticed they had the thing on it. I was like, yo, what the heck? So the lady says, we'd like to hold your child. And my wife's trying to tell him, but she's like under drugs. She's like, no, don't let him. Don't. Hey, so they put the kids in my arms, and then they were turning around to work on Carrie Ann. And I remembered there was this lady and these other nurses I saw in the hallway said, I want to show off my kids. So I go through the door. As I go through the door, I'm dead serious. Dude, don't ever do this. Alarms went off. I saw the red thing. Now I'm starting to run because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh crap, the place is on fire, right? So I'm kind of walking fast and people are screaming at me. I said, don't worry, I got this, right? And this is a true story. So I'm taking off, I'm heading, and all of a sudden, in the hallway couldn't have been any more from where it was, maybe about 30 feet.
Oh my gosh.
3 of the biggest security guards. I'm usually not scared of white people. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, these brothers were big, man. One dude, the smallest guy I believe was like 6'4", and he looked like he could crush me with a thought. So now he's looking at me, goes, put the baby down. And I said, and like, this is a true story. I said, the hell with you, they're mine. He said, put the babies down. And I said, the hell with you. He said, if you don't put the babies down, we are going to stun you. And that's when I saw the yellow stun gun. This is a true story.
Wow.
And I saw the yellow stun gun. So now I'm like, whoa. So there was the nurse came out, and I gave the nurse the babies, and the lady's like really mad at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what's the problem? Now, you got to remember, at this point, no one has explained anything to me. So Ava, this one, right, she starts crying. So when she cries, my blackness must have kicked in or something, because I got white law enforcement people standing around me, no black people in the place at all. I got these kids screaming, and I realized why they were mad. Number one is because these kids don't look, my wife is white. These
Yeah.
kids don't look like me. So I understand that point right away. The second thing she started crying, I blurted out what I've been thinking. I said, shut up, man. I just met you. I said, so the security guys come over, and then the other nurse came out and explained that's the father, and he said, how could he not know? And the lady said, well, not for nothing, the guy is like 65, and then they looked at me because apparently I don't look
You
65.
do not.
I guess I don't look 70 now, but it's like, it was like the darndest experience. And while the kids were in the NICU, every time I would come in, the guards would break my chops.
Oh yeah.
These kids, she was in there for over a month, and they broke my chops every time I came. Mr. Clark, we need to see some ID from you, right? We want to make sure and they had a picture of the kids behind as a joke for me. They had, because one of them found I was a comedian. So they had a picture of the kids behind me, and the guy would pick up the picture, put it next to my face, and go, "Oh, he doesn't really look like them, but we'll let him in." And they were breaking my chops like every day. True story. I'm not making an ounce of that up. That's a true story.
I
That's a true story.
think the next special should be called Eddie Clark Modern Father, because oh God, that story is so
You write it. You write it. I'll perform it.
Yeah, man. I don't need to. That whole story was gold. The second you said that you stepped outside, I was like, oh no, he's a black man with white babies. And the alarm went
I saw
off.
the look on you guys' faces. And it, but it's like I said, there's no manual for kids nowadays. Basically, my parents, me, my generation, we just did it by the seat of our pants. There were people didn't screw up with kids like they do now. So they didn't need all those rules. You know what I'm saying? It was like, now it is like, especially in hospitals, it's I didn't realize people were, I was a cop. You forget that. I didn't realize that there were people snatching other people's kids out of hospitals.
Yeah.
I did, I expect this had to be like 2000, had to be like 2010 or 11. I was doing Law and Order episode, and that was what them was about. And even at the time, I remember thinking, nobody does this. So who's gonna snatch somebody's kid? But it's a regular occurrence. So this hospitals had to really step up.
So I do have to ask, before labor and delivery, did you go with her to do the tour of the hospital?
Oh.
Nah.
It shows. They explain it to you in the tour of the hospital how it's gonna go down.
It's something funny, and I'll tell you why I missed it, because I was hanging with your husband on a cruise ship. That's when they were doing it.
Don't blame my husband for this. He went to
my
his.
fault.
I know he doesn't get enough blame. I left. If you remember, I told you that Carrie Ann was pregnant.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it, and you did that interview for me for my podcast.
Yeah.
And I remember after we talked about it, and I told you, I said, they got something they're doing, man. Some about the hospital as parents come in for some mandatory. I said, I'm glad I'm not even there for that foolishness. And I just blew it off, and it nearly got me stunned.
So, lesson to everybody out there. Go to the tour.
I was looking for the smoke-filled room to show people.
Oh man, you missed out on the tour, because I mean it's a whole thing. Like, not only do they show you all the stuff, usually you're in a group, and so you get to see all the first-time dads in a panic. Like on our group tour, oh man, there was a poor dude who was like holding in existential crisis. Like, he was breathing hard. He was like, those doors are going to be open. Am I going to hear stuff? Is it going to smell weird? He's asking all these weird questions that it's just like, dude, are you going to be okay? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, so yeah, you get to see on that tour all the unprepared fathers who are just like, is it going to be okay? And I'm like, would you chill out? Yeah. Of course it's not. No.
It was also funny because we were the only one in our groups that had already already had a kid for the tour. And so everybody else was new. And we were in the room and they were going over everything. And they were like, any questions? And the guy like raises his hand and he's like, yeah, where do the husbands sleep? And I'm like, oh, that's cute. You get to sleep? That's nice.
Where do you sleep?
And he just like looked at me like he saw a ghost. And I'm like, you think your new baby's going to sleep overnight the first time in a hospital?
Stop.
Oh my goodness, man. So
it's like she's sitting there right now. She's like, you know what? And here's the weird part. I tell everybody this is a note about kids you have to get used to. The second this is over, she'll be quiet.
Yeah.
She'll go back to her book.
Yes.
Won't okay, give me a kiss, hug.
Yeah.
She won't do nothing. Get away from me. All right. It's like every time it's like kids are even different. Now, these kids must have lawyers or something because somebody must have told them they can't touch you. Because they do stuff that this kid, her and her brother's even worse. I couldn't do this if her brother was here. Oh, yeah. Trust me.
I believe
I wouldn't be able to do this if her brother was here right now. This is mild. This is, what's going on now. This is nothing. When he's here, man, it's like full out G.I. Joe. It's on, But kids come out of the womb knowing they have rights. It might have been my imagination, but I could have sworn when these kids were born, I saw an attorney handing them a card. I could have sworn that's what I saw out of the corner of my eye. Because it's like they it used to be a time you say, cut it out, they're going and I'll do this. They laugh when I talk to them. Yeah. I said, cut it out, guys. I'm not playing around. You know what you have to threaten them with? McDonald's, Wendy's. And for my son, tell him he can't go to Target. He'll freak out.
Oh, man.
Can't go to Target because you can't go to Target. You can't get Matchbox cars. Can't get Matchbox cars. It's on.
Oh, man. Your son is on par with like a middle-aged white woman. Like, we can't go to Target. What do you mean we can't go to Target?
But if you don't mind with the way these kids are, I follow the rule I learned from you. Still the greatest comedy line I ever heard. When they move, I move. Just like that.
Yeah.
I told my mom that. I told my sisters that. I said, Ed, you're very calm with the kids. No, when they move, I move. Just like that.
Yep.
I said, take it up with Myles Heather. He's the one to talk about.
But you're right about like the kids being different. But I think also a thing that I feel like this generation's been teaching more kids, because like when we grew up, our parents or whoever we were with would make us be like, oh, go give them a hug and kiss goodbye. Say I love you. Like give them a kiss for like a thank you as a gift. Where I feel like now it's more common this generation where people are like, no, you can wave, you can do high five, you can do hug. You don't have to hug or touch anybody that you don't want to. It's your body. And I think that goes with
that's a good thing.
With like you have rules now that like for yourself and boundaries that you can set as a kid, where when we were kids, that wasn't an option. We had to kiss everybody.
Yeah. It was just go give them a hug, go do all these things. Now you get to play within your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I give my wife a lot of credit for that because she was the one that actually hit me to that. That the attitude had to be, we don't force our kids to do things. Mm-hmm. And even when it came out of my mom, I'll never forget, my mom came in. My mother is 93 years old. It took her a while. She wasn't here when the kids were born. She showed up, a couple of times when they were younger. But when they got a little older like this, my mom, because she was out in Alabama, so they don't see her as much. And when she came the first time to really spend time with them, they just weren't, grandma. Now, my wife's parents, she sees them all the time, grandma, grandpa, boom. So my mom and my sister, who's, just a little bit younger than me, she's like, well, why don't you make the kids go over there and just give mommy a hug? I said, nah. I said, this stuff has to be earned. Mm-hmm. The kids cannot be forced in the comfortability. I think one of the main reasons, and I don't want to throw any kind of wet rag on this kind of thing, but when I was a kid, I was almost abused by an older person, simply because that person was somebody in authority. My parents insisted that I hug them, and I'm never going to put my kids through that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you get your own interpersonal relationship with those people. And that's one of the things that younger people do. I give a lot of respect to. because I thought it was normal to make the person, somebody comes over that happens to be a friend of mine, the kid's never seen before. Well, give them a hug. No. It's not that kind of party, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hi, how you doing? If they want to leave and go play, bye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with that. No, I don't force. I don't force relationships on anybody, and I give younger people like yourself a whole lot of love for that. I give you much love because that's something we should have had back in the day. Because I think a lot of child abuse wouldn't have happened if we had that back during the day.
Well, child abuse, and I think like you don't realize how it shows up as an adult. But for me, I'm a like super people pleaser. I want like to make everybody happy. I don't like people being mad at me, and a lot of that comes from being forced of those types of things at a young age and not like having the voice to speak up for myself. And so, especially as having a daughter now, it's really important to me that she never feels like she's in a position that she can't speak up for herself. And even our son,
Exactly.
like I'm practicing like when we're out in public, like yesterday, he needed a box for the rest of his food to go. I told him to walk up to the counter and ask for it because I just want him to be comfortable with talking to adult strangers in case he does have to like, shut them down or like let them know like, hey, I'm not doing that. So just getting him comfortable to doing that. And it's comes with a lot of like, yeah, I'd love to just do it for you. But
you and my wife have that in common because that's one of the things she is the same way. And she's taken the time with me to teach me these things. And some people might think that's strange because my wife is 30 years younger than me. She's teaching you. You're damn right she is. I got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? These are my kids too.
Yeah.
So, it's like, there's a lot of things that I think people of my generation especially need to learn to kind of like back off a little bit, at least, step back, check out, the landscape, read the audience, man, and then do what you have to do. We're kind of like stiff back. People around my age we tend to be too stiff. We just don't want to step up and do what needs to be done. So, and one of the things to be done, you got to learn.
Yeah.
Got to be willing to learn.
It is really cool that you are the only person I know of that generation who is actively participating in the cycle breaking that this newer generation's doing because you do have new kids with your wife, and your wife is of the same generation as Heather and I. And so, you are seeing firsthand just like, this is how it was. This is how it is now. Oh, okay. And you're actively participating in it instead of just like, man, well, I had it rough, so you got to have it rough too.
Exactly. That's the problem.
That's the problem, right? So yeah, man, it's really, really cool to see you like participating in a part of the cycle breaking. And it's nice to hear somebody who's like, no, we did it this way and now we're doing it this way and this seems to make sense and this is interesting and man, there's more to learn here than I had thought. What does your oldest daughter think? Does she see you parenting now and go like, what is this? What's happening now? Or is she on board just like, hey man, good, this is good, I like what I'm seeing?
Yeah, she's already filed her lawsuit. Her abuse lawsuits have been filed and everything else. But
you just don't open doors anymore.
Ava, no. Stephanie thinks it's great. She looks at it, and it's one of the things she often talked to me about is that we needed to you need to find a way, Daddy, to break away from the stuff that's going to end up hurting these kids down the line. Says she had a good life, whatever. Her biggest complaint was the fact that I was always on the road because, before I retired, I was doing this for 40 years and I missed a lot with her. And her whole thing was, Daddy, whatever you end up doing, just do me a favor, don't do these kids you did to me. And I said, what are you talking about? You always had the money. You always had this and that. When you graduated, you got a BMW, which is that Daddy had everything except you. And when she said that, that's actually what made me retire. That's what made me decide to go into retirement. When she said that to me, it hit me hard because it never occurred to me. I said, I thought, it was more to it. And that's what I remember telling you when I left. I said, yo, man, whatever you do not leave your lady hanging with the kids, man. Don't get so hooked up on these ships and the casinos that you get so mad out that you're not there to watch it. Because there's stuff you miss. I'm getting to see it with these guys. I got lucky. I get to watch these are the years I missed with Stephanie. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always on the road. There's something about being popular and funny and all that crap that, it makes you feel good. And you're thinking, oh, yeah, I'm all that. And then you happen to see another family on a cruise ship or whatever, and they're with their kids, and you're thinking, oh yeah, Stephanie, oh crap, I'm not there to see it. I've never seen Stephanie perform on stage. I've never seen her in a track meet. I never saw her on a tennis meet. I've never seen her until she got older. I had never seen her perform with her music and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I never saw that until she was 22.
Yeah.
I missed all that because I was always on the road.
I quote that often. I parrot that and have since we spoke of you being one of the guys who would take me, because I had that talk of just like, don't do what I did, man. Like, you can't. I could tell you I had all the success in the world, and it doesn't touch being around your family for those important moments, man. Like, so do what you can to work, and I've done that as much as I could to adhere to that. So I mean, you know, you have definitely touched.
I worried. Believe it or not, man, I worried about you. I really did, because I'm watching you. I see you're funny as hell. You reminded me a lot of myself. You know, when I was younger, man, it's like the funny's there, the skill's there, everything else, and everybody's pulling at you. And it's every time you turn around, it's nothing around the corner. Hey, come to Texas. Hey, come to Arizona. Come to Idaho. And meanwhile, your kids, you know, at home, you know, with your wife, and that's a good thing, but they miss daddy. And I would tell any guy, man, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, women are strong. You know, women got their game together. Don't do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do it, because it messes up. You can mess up your entire family. I mean, I don't care how much you support us, and I'm sure Heather supports you and she loves you, and I get all that. But the fact of the matter is, there's a resentment that will build from you not being there.
Yep.
One of the reasons me and my first wife got divorced was behind that.
Yeah.
She told me years later, it was a resentment for the fact that she had to raise my kid alone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I think what you said was a big catalyst for me. And then during the pandemic, she had to travel for work to support us, and I stayed home. And so the shoe was on the other foot, and I was like, oh, this sucks. And then now knowing like there's kids involved, and that just gets driven up to the next level of like, oh man, like watching these kids is more than 2 full-time jobs. This is wild just to be like hanging out with them for a little bit, you know? I mean, you know, her going to the store to those kids is like Tom Brady just went down in the first quarter, and we're just like, all right, second string dad's coming in off the bench right now. Like, is he going to make it? We just got to survive this game right now. Like, let's just get through with the W. A win is a win. And so, yeah, I mean, like seeing the shoe on the other foot, plus your words and what you said, man, really mixed it into like, all right, what does it look like for me being home more? That's when we came up with the like 100-day a year schedule of just like around 100 days, we can swing that. Right now, it's probably a little bit more just because we're trying to save up for a move to Vegas. But even that move is like, hey, let's go back to a place where it's a slower pace so we could be around the kids more. So when I do get some work in town, it's a week's work of work that I can get on a better rotation. So that way I can do that more throughout the year and just be paid to be home. Because that's the thing that I wouldn't trade this job with any regular 9-to-5 is just like when I'm home and it's there all day and I'm dialed in and I'm with these kids and I'm seeing Robin's dance recitals and everything that he's doing, you know? So yeah, man, like I'm making sure to like, we put it in the schedule, we put it in the calendar, we got it, we don't miss it. I'll catch the horrible flight back home and be tired as hell, but I'll be there, man. Don't even worry about it. I'll be there.
I just saw my daughters, and everybody on Facebook was catching it. Facebook and Instagram that my daughter's first recital was a couple days ago. And I went to rehearsals, went to recitals and everything else. And it was one of the coolest things that I ever did. And it's like today, it's like things like that. It's like in about 20 minutes or so, I got to get her over to her hairdresser. I take her to get her hairdressed. I take her, I sit with her, I look at the styles, I tell her what looks good, and it's like my son with the haircuts, yo man, this is how you do it, this is how you sit in the chair, this is how you got to do it like this, I love the teaching aspect. I love the idea that I'm the man. I'm their guy. I'm the guy, I'm their go-to. I think that even with me going, I'm semi-retired now because I'm life is just fine. I'm going back on the road a little bit, not on the road, but there's enough on the East Coast, as opposed to the West Coast. There's clubs and casinos right here, so I don't have to fly out. I can stay in this I can stay within 100 miles of my place and be home every night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in Atlantic City later on in the year, and at the Borgata, and it's 45 minutes from my house.
That's great.
So everybody else is
Perfect.
staying at the nice room. I'm going out there and
Yeah.
do my show and come back home. I'll be
Yep.
home for these kids. Well, I'll be able to put them to bed, and then when they get home next morning, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so it's how you actually it's how you make the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about how you make the time. You know, I'm not gonna turn the camera around. My wife is upstairs. I'm not gonna turn the camera around. She's upstairs. She just got up and she was hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I know how you do. Yeah, hi. She said hi to everybody. Yeah, because you know how you ladies are until you had your hair combed, your makeup, and blah 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 blah.
I get it.
Right. Plus, she knows that that my boy's wife is on there right now. So the first time you guys see each other, everybody's got to be like, "Girl, am I?"
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so
You got to make an
so
entrance.
she's
I
like,
get
no, she's got to be there. So, but yeah, but I tell you something. As long as you think about it, I've also been paying attention to what you guys have been doing, right? Because of the fact that Carrie Ann, because she's a nurse, she's going to be a nurse. She'll be a nurse practitioner next month. She gets her degree,
So exciting.
and
Congrats.
but she's been working like overnights and crazy hours, and I've been doing everything. And the reason my son is so good in his and this is how you got to be willing to learn, and it's adding, it's numbers. You had things that you had put up that I watched,
Oh,
and a
yay.
couple of books you guys have put up and programs, and I caught it.
Yeah.
And I just, I didn't steal your act, bruh, but I stole your method. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
That's why we
And,
do this.
the kids count. They, they do their letters. They can, get in the reading comprehension like that. They learn how to write. And it's funny because I told mother the other day, I said, Mother, oh, you did a great job. No, I didn't. I said, Uncle Myles did a great job. and then I showed her and I told her about you. But it's like I said, it's a growing experience
Mhm.
with
Yeah.
kids nowadays. It's not, and not to say that my parents didn't do a good job, but it's not that throw together stuff
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
they kind of did with us. We have enough people. If you want to listen, there are enough people around you that can show you stuff
Yes.
if you're willing to open yourself up.
Yes.
And your age, your race, none of that crap makes a difference to me. If you got an idea to help me raise my kid and I see it, I'm on it.
Yeah.
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 I'm on it.
Well, and I would say one of the biggest
so-
things now, because I think for a while everybody was talking about gentle parenting, and
Yeah.
I think the one thing we've always said is like we intentional parent. Like everything we do is with intent behind it. We're mapping things out, like even down to like the podcast, our relationship, our schedule. Everything's intentional because we found if you don't put intent behind what you're trying to do, everything falls by the wayside. You forget to do everything. You forget to connect with your partner. You forget to go over those things with your kids. And so things just have to be more intentional now, especially with how busy so many people's schedules are. Is if you're not making that time, then it's just not going to happen.
It's a lot going on. It's like I said, it's a matter of and especially, and I can't emphasize enough, especially for older guys, older people. Now, maybe outside of me, Tony Randall, and Robert De Niro, there's not really guys our age that's running around having kids. But there are guys even in their 40s. Got one buddy of mine, Kevin Israel, is a comic out here in New Jersey. Just turned 50, just had his kid. And I tell him, I said, dude, check out what these young people are doing. Check out what people younger than you are doing. Try to, educate yourself. Keep your mind open up to what's done, because what we used to do, that stuff is passé, baby. It doesn't work anymore, and it will get you locked up. It will get you locked up, or it'll get your butt kicked, usually by your wife.
Yeah.
For sure, that minimum that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I'm happy in my situation. I'm pleased that I think I've done a good job so far. Wife pats me on the head, lets me know, good job. She still brings up the hospital every now and then, because
You have to.
Yeah.
She works for that hospital, but she doesn't go to that particular. There's several buildings. She doesn't know that building anymore. She doesn't go there
Because your picture's probably still up.
Yeah.
Actually, it is. That's a whole nother story though. But it actually is. They got mostly just the pictures of the kids, but they got a picture with my kids and me. You know,
You've
so it's
left a
like that was kind
legacy
of
at
funny.
that hospital.
We're the only. I'm the only parent on the past kids wall, and it's long. I'm the only parent that's actually on that wall. It's all kids. I'm the only parent on the wall with my kids. And I guess when they go by, they explain this is the idiot that actually tried to leave with the kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
You
so
know?
funny.
Yeah.
God, that's
So,
such a good
like I said,
story.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I'm blessed, man. It's, and I'm fortunate enough to be in a situation. Hopefully, where I'm mentally to the point, and I don't have, I'm open minded enough, and I don't have that it's my way or no way highway,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I'm good with that. I can listen. So and I think that's gonna help my kids, and in the long run, it helps me as quiet
Yeah.
as it's kept.
Well, I think
It
that's
helps
also
me.
a cool thing you have going for you in this, because you talk to so many parents like once their kids are adults, and you always have that talk of like, oh, if you could go back, what would you do different? And you kind of have that opportunity to learn from your adult child and be like, okay, this is what I do want to do differently this go around, where most people can't, and they just got to have those conversations with their adult kids.
And you're seeing the difference tenfold. I mean, like those kids, like you said, every day that your wife gets to see, oh, they're talking and they're walking and they're doing all this stuff and they know this now and they're saying this and they're asking these questions. Clearing all those developmental milestones and seeing how important it is for, like you said, you to be their guy. They're just like, I need to know something. Dad, where are you? I mean, the fact that it's a go to you is a big attribute to just the work you've done with those kids, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's phenomenal.
I appreciate that, especially coming out of you guys, man. I appreciate that because
Thanks.
you got if you're not willing to listen,
Mhm.
you're doomed to fail.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't tell the people how to raise their kids. I'm just saying, look, this worked for me. I've been lucky enough to have the advantage. I have the older daughter that can tell me what.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how often my daughters actually told me, "Daddy, check it out. You don't do it like that," or "Daddy, you need to check this or do that." When they do that, and I said, "Yeah, okay,
That's
I
great.
got you."
Yeah. That's great.
It's, so.
Well, and I think like kids now just want to be involved in things.
Yeah.
Like why your daughter's wanting to be involved right now. They just want to be involved in things. And so when you're just putting them in front of a screen or a thing all day, and eventually they're going to come to an age where they don't want to be involved in any of it because you never let them. And so the more you can involve them in whatever you're doing. That's why our son cooks. He helps clean. He helps like do all the things in the house. Myles goes to do the backyard work. Our son wants to help like sweep up the weeds.
Yep.
He wants to be
My
around
wife
for all
permits
of
that.
it.
She permits the kids to actually do the help with the cleaning up and and I was against them going in the kitchen for the longest time, but now it's like, hey, look, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a cool thing. At least for our son, like he loves cooking.
Oh,
loves.
God, yeah.
He's been doing it since he was 2. He's 4.5. He loves watching the show MasterChef Junior.
Yep.
He found out the youngest you can go on is 6, and so every day he's like, I'm training for MasterChef Junior. But also like the family cooking together.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just whoever does the cooking, whether it's the wife or husband, whoever's doing it. And then the other ones are just like out doing their own thing. And the person cooking starts to feel left out. So if you can do it as a family, throw on music, turn it into whatever, way better.
Oh yeah. And he loves it. He's a big fan. He talks about being on MasterChef Junior all the time. He only knows Gordon Ramsay to be a nice, kind man to children. Like it's very strange.
Poor kid knows nothing.
Right? Oh man. The world is his oyster.
One of the things that's been really good, though, I got to tell you this.
Yeah.
One of the things that's been really good, and it's one of the skills you learn, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but since I've talked to you in the last 5 minutes, I've gotten my daughter dressed. I'm outside. We're on our way out to the car to go get her hair done. She's trying to put the boxes back in the house that was outside the door. Go ahead. Put them in there.
There we go.
Don't worry about that thing that says fragile. Just drop it. There you go. Yeah. Just drop it. Let mommy get mad at everybody else.
It's a fancy French word,
but
means
it's
nothing.
these are things that when I was married the first time, these are things I never had to learn. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think right now I can put Ava, as I'm doing right now, I walk outside. That's my house behind me. Oh, Ed, you're doing good. Great. I go outside. I can take the kid, get her dressed. I got her dressed. Ava, let's go. I got her dressed and everything else in the short amount of time, last 5 minutes I've been talking to you. All right. I got her totally dressed. All right. She's on her way out to the car. Now she's going to get her hair done. I can do everything I'm doing in one shot. And I couldn't even make burnt water, without trying to do, burnt water and walk at the same time, before this.
Yeah.
But
Come a long way.
that's one of the reasons. I don't know if I ever said this to you before, Myles, but I'm a firm believer, and I've said this before to politicians, that it's my honest feeling that every woman that has ever gave birth to a child and ever had to be a homemaker should be paid. The government should pay them. Forget black people with reparations, pay women first.
Yes.
And I'm not joking. I'm not shooting it. I'm not play with it, Ava. I'm not joking. I'm not playing around about it. I'm dead serious. Every woman, in my opinion, should be paid reparations. Get the black people when you get around to it. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Because most
It's
people
hard,
have
man.
no idea. They have no idea what it's like to do what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, you don't think it's a job. I would love to trade you 24 hours. And I want you to do the same amount of stuff that I get done in 24 hours. Ready, set, go.
In 24 hours.
Yep.
And my biggest problem right now is just doing the daggone laundry. Forget it, bro. My biggest problem is like I got 2 little kids. How the hell am I not able to keep up with the damn laundry? Go in, wash it, dry it, fold it, put it in the daggone thing. Nope.
This
Bro, I've got, this from last week, I've got 3 laundry bins full of laundry waiting to be put away.
Yep.
3.
We just call it the laundry monster, and we just tackle it as a family, and it helps get it done faster.
Yep.
Again, like I think a large portion of our son knowing as much as he does is because when Myles is on the road, I'm like, hey, if you can help me do this, I have more time to play this game or like go ride your bike or do a thing with you.
Yep.
And so we just make it a game as fast as we can and go.
The laundry monster is real. Well, Eddie, we'll let you go get to your appointment, man. But we thank you for joining in with us. If you can still hear us and your connection is still stable, tell people where they can find you online and when they can follow you. If not, we'll add it later.
I think we're going to add it later.
All right. I think we lost Eddie. It's okay. That was good timing.
Right. We got a lot in.
We did. We really, really did. It was good getting to talk with him. I mean, that was about to end anyway. So, I mean, it ended up working out. So, yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Because, I mean, I think that was great for so many reasons. Oh, he might be back. There he is. There he is. He's back. Kind of.
But we can't hear him.
But I can't hear you. No, I don't know. It's okay. Are you on mute? Oh, yeah, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Nope.
You're good, Eddie.
You're good.
You're good. You can sign off, man, and we'll do the outro without you, man. We'll touch base with you soon, okay? or silence your phone, and then it'll finish uploading all that stuff. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We appreciate y'all. I'm Myles Weber.
I'm Heather Weber.
And we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Bye.